Welcome. This is Lisa with Queen Bee Creations. Um, Today we're here on a Monday for a fun fold card on a little more of an advanced level. This one is going to be a hidden door. Okay, so I'm excited to show you today's card. Okay, here we are. I had some fun designing this one today. This is a fold I've had for a while, but decided to redo it. I did it for a team meeting and then realized I hadn't done it for a live yet. So here we are putting this hidden flap card together. We're using the Impressions Abloom bundle. So we're going to use this stamp set with the coordinating dies. And if you haven't cut out with the dies yet, they are kind of fun. One of them will cut a straight oval. This one here, so it's just got a single blade around it. If I can get that to focus. There we go. It's got a single blade. And then this one is actually cutting on both sides and stitching in the middle. So that gives us this plus the oval it cuts out of the middle, which I guess I don't have here because we're not going to use it. But I cut out the larger oval to be the bottom of a basket. And then we're going to use this other piece as the handle to it. And then I saved the oval that came out of the middle for another card. Okay, so these are some really fun dies. You can cut and emboss with them in that one of these fits inside the other, so that when you run it through, you're going to get not only the cut around the outside, but it's kind of going to slice into the cardstock for the various flowers if you wanted to do them on their own, along with the middle of the flower and the leaves. So you can do those as a two-part die cutting. You just layer them together and run them through at the same time. And then if you wanted to stamp and then cut them out, then you would just stamp them and use this, which is what we're going to do today. Now, I didn't do the two-step stamping. They're designed so you can do the dark one, or the outline, the solid part, and then this also, so that they layer one on top of each other. But I'm just going to use the detail for today and then die cut them. Okay. So it's a really fun set of dies. I looked at the catalog and thought, oh, more flowers. I have flowers, but the dies got me. I had to have those ovals. Okay, so here is our card base. And so this is overall 10 1/4 inches. And then I've got it scored at 4 1/4 and 8 1/2. So what that's going to do is that's going to give me this extra like 1 3/4, I believe it is. It's going to hang over the top. So this is going to be like the pocket that this is going to slide in and out of. Okay, so we're just going to fold that together, both of them being valley folds. I have some basic white cardstock. I need 3 of them because I'm going to do one on either side interior. And then I'm going to do one on the front. And this one I'm actually going to dry emboss. Then I have this little part, which is this little section here that goes in and out, our hidden flap. So this piece is 7 1/2 by 4 1/2. And then it's scored at 1/2 inch, 3 1/2, 4, 3 1/2, 4, 4 1/2. Sorry. Okay, so this one I kind of want to go both ways. So I'm going to fold it on that middle here between the 3 of them. And then these are going to go both ways. This, on the other hand, is going to be a mountain. So we have a mountain and a definite valley, but then these two are kind of probably both mountains, but they'll kind of, in order to slide in and out, they'll go both ways. Okay, to decorate this piece, I have some designer series paper, and these are 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. So I have one for either side of this flap, and then I have the same size that's going to go right here. So that's going to be the one we stamp onto. I have just a spare strip I had left over. I'm going to use that as an accent in here. And then this piece is going to decorate our little pocket. And this is 1 1/2 by 5 1/4, and that's going to go right there. Okay, so that's all the pieces we're starting out with. I know, a lot of pieces. A lot of these cards I do, they're not very hard, just sometimes there's a lot of pieces. And of course the flowers and the leaves are going to be more pieces, but I think you'll like it. It's going to be worth it. And if you can get the fold down, you can decorate this however you want to. There's no saying that you have to do exactly what I did. Okay, so I want to glue this on here because you know me, the first thing we're going to do is get a lot of pieces out of the way. So I'm just going to take and lay this on the edge. And I tend to make it long and let it hang over so that I can trim for the back side. And then I know it exactly fits. But then we're going to take that piece and we're going to adhere it to the inside. So that's going to go right here. And then I'm going to take this plain one and I'm going to put it here. Now, I suppose these two pieces could be optional. You don't have to put them in there. I think the card would still work. But I included them. Okay, so now I want to create a pocket over here. And to create this pocket, what I'm going to do is use some tear and tape. Top and bottom. We're not going to do along here because it's kind of like we're going to hold a gift card in it. You know, we want it to have a pocket. So I'm just going to peel off the tape and we're going to go right here. Then I can adhere the designer series paper to it. Okay, and then we have this piece we're going to decorate. And as I said, we're going to put our white in here, so I'm not going to do that yet because I want to stamp first. But we're going to go ahead and adhere these two pieces. So far, all we've done is put flat layers on. Nice and simple. But it's a lot less overwhelming once you get those kind of out of the way. I don't know if it's just me, but when there's lots and lots of pieces everywhere, I just get slightly overwhelmed. Okay, now I said this is going to be that hidden flap. So what I want to do is I want to glue these two sections together. So I'm going to put tear and tape right down the middle and glue these two 1/2 inch sections together. Okay, then I'm going to put tear and tape right here. Because this is what's going to adhere to the card and make it flap in and out. So I'm basically going to take it, you know, like this. This is the way it's going to open. But I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to put it right here. Okay, so I'm butting it up to the score line, but not interfering with it, just right up against it. And then I'm going to peel off the backing and go ahead and stick it down. Sorry, I'm trying to get a better view. Because I want it kind of centered and right up against it, but not interfering. Then I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to just tuck it in here. Okay, so you can see when the card is fully open, this score line here is exposed, and that's allowing this. Now, as I close the card, it's going to slide under there. And you'll notice this one's really stiff. So if you start working with it and you're going, oh my gosh, this is stiff, I don't think I did it right, that's probably not true. They just kind of start out stiff. After you've worked with it a while, it comes in and out just fine. So don't panic. Let's get some little pieces out of the way here. Okay, as I said, we're going to create this little basket with our ovals. And we're going to do some stamping. And I've got a little more die cutting done over here. So I went ahead and I die cut the leaves already and the ovals, but because we're stamping the flowers, we're going to need to die cut those together, which is what I was grabbing when the camera went live on me. So I already pulled out. We're going to use the smaller, like a sunflower-ish kind of thing, and then the detail that goes in it. So that's here and here. And then I've got the sentiments out. I've got thanks so very much all ready to go. Pull out some scrap. I'm going to start with my thanks so much, so I know where that kind of goes. But then what I want to do is stamp some flowers across the bottom. Now I have this tendency to get into a rut. And I don't know if you've been watching lately, I've been putting a flower up here and a flower down here. Sometimes I'll just put a strip down the side. I kind of do card after card after card with the same kind of look. And so I'm trying to stop myself and think of something different to do with the interiors that's still going to have it coordinate with the outside of the card. So this time I'm just doing flowers across the bottom. Okay, and I'm doing them in Daffodil Delight, and then I'm going to take some pecan pie and then do the centers. Okay. Oh, I guess I should leave that out, because while I have this out, we're going to go ahead and we're going to stamp some more flowers that we're going to end up die cutting. So let's go ahead and do those. And I've got them on little strips because I'm going to be using the smaller cut and emboss machine. Sorry, just digging for one more scrap that's going to be the right size. Okay. Okay, my centers look like they're a bit off center. So when you do this, obviously stand up and look straight down from the top. You'll center better than I did. And now we're ready to die cut our flowers. So see how quickly this is moving along? When you first saw the card, I bet you thought it was going to be much more complicated than it's turning out. Thank you so much to those who are liking and sharing the video. That does help me quite a bit. One of the ways that YouTube decides who to show things to is how much interaction they get. So every time that you like, share, comment, all of those things, it makes it look like my channel is more interesting, and then they show it to more people. So thank you for that. Okay, so I'm going to be using this small cut and emboss machine. I've got plate number 1, a plate number 2, and then a second plate number 2. So I'm going to take the cardstock and line up the die. Sometimes this takes me a minute. I kind of looked for the big V up here in the corner. Oops. So there's one. So how's everybody's summer going? Are you boiling yet? It has been so hot here. I can't believe we are like right around the corner from August. I wanted to let you all know that there's going to be a free shipping offer going on for Stampin' Up. Every once in a while, they surprise us and say, look, yoo-hoo, tomorrow they're going to do free shipping. And so kind of that's what they let us know. They let us know that the 23rd through the 25th is going to be a free shipping opportunity. So get your wish list ready. Check out that last chance list, the new online products. There's lots and lots of fun stuff to choose from, and free shipping is a good deal. I also have a deal on my website. My retired product I have gone ahead and added to my tutorial store. So on queenbeecreations.net, if you go to the store, you will see not only my tutorials, my fun fold books, but now my retired product is out there as well. And I have listed that at about 60% off of what it was retail. And then, of course, tax is included. And then shipping is only $4.50, regardless of how much you order. So it's a really good deal if you missed something that was offered before and is no longer offered by Stampin' Up. So I've got the old in-color ink pads, the blends. I've got lots of designer series paper that I'm going to be adding soon. That's not quite out there yet, but I encourage you to please go take a look. You guys supporting me by purchasing new product and old all helps me stay in business and continue to do this for you. My husband told me just the other night that this was getting to be a very expensive hobby. No, and he's just kidding, but seriously, it's been a little slow. So this is our little basket, and I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue just on half of it. Oh, and we need to dry emboss this. So I'm going to need to take this over to the larger cut and emboss machine and run that through to get it dry embossed. Okay, for dry embossing, we're going to use plate number 1, then our folder, and then plate number 4. It's one of the fun things about Stampin' Up's cut and emboss machine is that they kind of make it easy for you in that it's numbered and they give you the sandwich right there on the platform. This is one of their newer oversized embossing folders. So this is 6 by 8.5. So this is a really big size. So if you had something that you wanted to emboss, you know, you can do the whole card front and back in this one folder. So it gives you lots of ideas and things you can do with it. But I just went ahead and dry embossed this layer. And I'm leaving it white. Sometimes what I will do is take an ink pad and put a little bit of ink on like 1/2 of it, and then put my paper down and run it through with the ink on the embossing folder. And then it gives it kind of a colored background. So I would do this with like maybe a pecan pie or a crumb cake and make it look like it was actually wood. But because my wood actually is coming out of the basket, I went ahead and left it all white. And I was saying I want to adhere this over the top. And the sizes, I mean, it's this piece, this half oval, is going to land halfway in between that. So I need to be very careful to not add too much glue. You know, and maybe what I want to do, let's see, why don't we try that? Let's try it a different way. This last time I put the basket together first before I put it on the card. Let's see, if I just go around this outside with a very skinny amount of glue, this is where that glue press would come in handy if I had that closer to me. Okay, so there's our oval. We could have also used the adhesive sheets when I die cut that. Okay, now this time I'm gonna just go around the oval and I'm gonna place that right over the top. So this is just an oval I cut in half to make the bottom of our basket. Okay, before that glue dries too much, I'm gonna go ahead and take one of these stem of leaves, I guess. And I'm going to put that back there, and I'm going to tuck it inside. So I didn't want that glue to dry too much so that I can make that pop out. And then let's see. Okay, and it looks like it's, you know, obviously you can tell with just the leaves that I've cut it off. But when we put the flower over the top of it, we won't be able to tell. So I'll cover that up with one of the flowers. And then I'm not really sure where I want that one to go yet. So let's go ahead and start placing some of our flowers. And I'm going to do the middle one flat. So I'm going to put that down with a glue dot. But then I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm going to pop up the other ones and make it look a little bit 3D. Let's see, and I know I want this to good and cover up that. Okay, see, can't even tell. All right, so now I just want to add a little more greenery. I find that if I peel these from the peak of the leaf instead of down at the bottom, they tend to come off easier. Let's see. Okay, so there we go. And now I'm ready to adhere these two pieces to our card. So I used a garden green card base. The middle part that pulls out is Daffodil Delight. And this is the Floral Impressions Designer Series paper and the Impressions Abloom bundle with those awesome ovals. And there is our finished card. As I said, it's a little stiff at first. After you've played with it a while, it goes in and out just fine. And there you have it. There is today's fun fold card, the Hidden Flap card. Okay, so thank you for joining me. I so appreciate you being here and liking and sharing and supporting my small business. It means the world to me. I will be back on Thursday with another kind of a simpler card. It's not going to use die cutting. It's going to be what I call stamping made simple. I have this problem. It's still usually a fun fold, but come back and see that. And then be sure to check out that sale that's going to be happening Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for free shipping. And then I have my book number 3 almost ready. Our plan is to have it submitted to Stampin' Up by the end of the month. So hang in there. In the meantime, go check out my tutorial store and come back on Thursday. Thanks so much. Bye.